Coming up on the Rockbridge Report, President Obama will send more troops to Afghanistan. But what do local VMI cadets think about this decision? Stores might see lighter checkout lines this holiday season, but how is online shopping keeping business owners afloat? And see how some county residents fight to keep their treasured post office alive. All this and more on the Rockbridge Report.
Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Rockbridge Report. I'm Cameron Steele. President Obama's decision to send as many as 30,000 troops to Afghanistan shows a renewed effort in the war on terror. But Tuesday's announcement has some at the Virginia Military Institute, like Army National Guardsman Emily Fritz, wondering if they're slotted for the front lines.
I know a lot of our fellow National Guard units in Virginia are planning to deploy to Afghanistan during their next deployment. The emphasis is definitely switching from Iraq to Afghanistan.
VMI's Commandant Colonel Thomas Trump said that those in charge have made a tough decision, but not in haste.
I've got to believe these people have fully aware of what they're committing, the sons and daughters of this nation to.
President Obama's plans to have troops out of Afghanistan by 2011. It's been confirmed that 19-year-old VMI cadet John Evans died from cardiac arrest due to an underlying medical condition early November. His death came after a 10-mile march last month. This march was one of a series to prepare cadets for VMI's annual 23-mile march. Rockbridge County Sheriff Bob Day has privately resolved his misdemeanor assault and battery case with County Emergency Services Coordinator Robert Forsman. Forsman accused Day of escalating an argument beyond professional conduct in the county administration building on early October. Neither of the two men appeared in court this morning. Many restaurants around the country are moving toward becoming smoke-free. Lexington has been ahead of the curve as Rockbridge reporter Victoria Taylor takes us inside places where smoke is no longer on the menu.
Virginia restaurants are now required by law to be smoke-free. The law went into effect on Tuesday, but many Lexington restaurants have been smoke-free for years. The Southern Inn, for example, has been home to a clean air dining room for about 5 years, thanks to customer demand.
I think that it is a positive thing for fine dining businesses in general. I mean, smoking detracts from your ability to enjoy the food.
But some in the restaurant business think customers should have the right to choose whether they want to have a cigarette or not, especially when the venue is not just a place to eat.
Smoking can interfere with the dining experience, but sometimes in bars, it's part of the experience.
The Palms, a previously smoky hotspot, decided to put away its ashtrays for good earlier this year. The general manager of the Palms would not go on camera, but she says she's noticed an increase in customers, especially with the dinner crowd, since the restaurant went smoke-free back in April. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Victoria Taylor.
Some restaurant owners also say smoke-free environments make better places to work. Lexington's one-year-old curbside recycling program is the newest target of City Council's initiative to cut spending. City Manager John Elistad plans to present changes to the program that would eliminate 4 jobs and save the city over $150,000 a year. Currently, 2 3-man crews are responsible for picking up both trash and recycling along business and residential routes. The proposed changes put 1 crew in charge of both and reduce trash collection from twice a week to once a week. Council plans to discuss the proposals at tonight's meeting at 8. A national survey predicts that consumer spending will be down this holiday season. When we come back, see how local retailers adapt to survive the winter. Despite signs of recovery from the economic slump, one national survey predicts this year's holiday shoppers will cling to their cash more tightly than in previous years. The survey was conducted by the NPD Group, a leading North American market research firm. They say that 30% of people plan to spend less money than last year, up from 26% in 2008. But one thing business owners have on their side is the steady rise in online shopping. Those who choose not to brave Black Friday are no longer out of the mix. Many stores now offer comparable sales the following Monday, now dubbed Cyber Monday. Many store owners in Lexington say online sales are often the bread and butter of the holiday season.
Here at Cocomel, the Christmas season is our biggest time of year. Between Christmas and Easter is our really peak time of doing business. And of course, we've been very successful with our online e-commerce business. That's where we get the bulk of our sales.
But online shopping has had repercussions for the county. Sales tax receipts in the county are down about $107,000 from this time last year. That's a 30% decrease. 2 weeks ago, I presented you with an in-depth look at sexual assault at Washington and Lee. This week, our website features an investigative print story that delves deeper into the matter. A forum on sexual assault is being held for the W&L community next Wednesday. And will the skies clear in time for upcoming seasonal festivities? This weekend, holiday parades are everywhere. We'll have more on that and your 5-day forecast next. This weekend, there's plenty going on to get you and your family in the holiday spirit. Friday night, the House Mountain Group invites you to an evening of music to benefit Meals on Wheels. The concert starts at the Buena Vista American Legion building at 7. Saturday morning, you and the kids can eat breakfast with Santa as Project Horizon hosts its annual fundraiser at Central Elementary. Santa will be there from 8:30 to 11. And Saturday evening, Lexington kicks off its annual Christmas parade to ring in the holidays. The floats start rolling down Main Street at 5:30. But it looks like the cold weather is here to stay, and it could be a while before the sun comes back. Friday's high of 50 is the warmest we'll see all weekend. Expect mostly cloudy skies with a low of 35 and just in time for Lexington's Christmas parade. Saturday is the first potential snow day of the season. There's a high of 38 and a low of 24, meaning that 50% chance of rain could turn into a few flurries. Temperatures will start to creep back up on Sunday to a high of 44, but don't expect the clouds to vanish. Monday should see a high of 47 and a low of 33, and bundle up for another gray day again on Tuesday. Skies will be cloudy with a high of 50 and a low of 40. And we all know that whatever the weather, the mail always comes through. After the break, see what some local residents are doing to make sure that doesn't change. The United States Post Office is struggling and says it will close branches nationwide. This map shows the post offices in and around Rockbridge County. Most of these offices are small and serve rural areas. Rockbridge reporter Cameron Dewing takes you to Brownsburg, where community members rally to save their local post office.
Smaller and more rural post offices are the most likely to be closed, but Brownsburg residents are trying to keep that from happening to them.
It's just something that we must, at whatever cost, keep. But one of the greatest aspects of it is it's a congregating point for people of Brownsburg, and that is absolutely priceless.
In Brownsburg, community members like Betty Brown are so concerned they held a meeting to think of ways to increase revenue at their local branch.
Don't buy stamps anywhere else, don't mail packages anywhere else, just do it in Brownsburg.
Right.
One reason rural post offices pull in less revenue than larger branches is simply a matter of convenience.
One lady told me, she said, I work in Lexington, and so I always stop by Lexington Post Office and get 2 or 3 books of stamps. And then she said, I thought all the revenue was just going in one pot.
Post offices total their revenue individually. They make money by selling stamps, mailing packages, and renting post office boxes. The bad economy means fewer people use services like the parcel post. But it's not all bad news for the Postal Service.
There's people still moving to the area. As long as they move to the area, they'll be renting boxes.
The number of post office boxes rented is a good measure of growth, and that's what's happening in Brownsburg.
Just the one in Brownsburg, I know they're picking up new boxes.
87 of Brownsburg's 114 boxes are rented. Back here in Lexington, the post office reports lower revenue than last year. But despite saying they'll cut back on costs, Postmaster Bill Harlow says they're not concerned about being shut down. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Cameron Dewing.
That's all we have time for this week. Tune in next Thursday, and for more local news, updates, and information, you should check out our website at rockbridgereport.wlu.edu. Good night and happy holidays. I'm Cameron Steele.